The first Simone Biles. That's what I'm talking about. Don't compare me to. I am the first of my kind. I'm not the next anybody else. I love that.
I love that.
All right, let's get to Basketball Wives. Have you been watching Basketball Wives?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you know.
I can't remember what episode 5 is, so I'm gonna.
I got you. So I'm gonna just let you know, just from the beginning. I really liked OG.
I don't like OG.
No. What about the first season? Her first season. She didn't really do much.
Her first season, she was okay.
Yeah, so it seemed fun.
Now?
So I'm like,
Tom says I'm biased because Evelyn is Latin. I'm like,
oh, hell no.
I said I'm not.
No, you know, does Evelyn make decisions that I think are just extra dramatic? Yes.
But we all do.
But I love that she owns it and that she's emotional with it. I feel like OG is a bully.
She tries to be. I don't think she's about that life. Because for one, if she was... No, listen. I feel like she grew balls this season. Okay?
Right.
I feel because... so like a lot of people know one side of me, right?
Okay.
But the people that really know me know where I can go.
Right.
95% of people that I know right now, they don't know that side of me.
Right.
So if I'm put in a situation like that, my natural triggers are going to come out. OG wasn't doing all that last season.
Right.
So now you grew some balls and all of a sudden you want to fight everybody now.
Oh, yes, I agree with that part.
Where'd that come from?
I agree with that part, but what
about when he was talking about her shoes and talking about her clothes and all
her
that?
hair and stuff.
And her hair?
No, I
Where
get
was
that.
all that then?
I get that part, but I felt like she wanted to be a part of the show, right? So she was playing nice. But I feel like this. I feel like this particular season. I don't even know what she's on, but I feel like she's doing it because she knows that people are going to think twice. So Evelyn, Shawnee, or anybody else, they would have. I'm not talking about that, but they would have been jumped across the table at anybody else. They have not done that.
So Tom said that. Okay, so let me tell you my take on it.
Okay.
Right? Because he was like, I hate, why you always watching this and I hear it? Like, I don't want to watch this. I'm like, well, whatever.
Yes, he do.
He hates it, girl. But I'd be like, listen, we spending all these time. But anyway, so I feel like, I don't think that Evelyn is scared of OG. I think she's just playing her cards because, like, if you're gonna go, wait, listen. First of all, she's trying to become a better person, all right? So she's not really trying to fight like that.
But one episode later, before and after, she was on the table.
She was. Okay, so I feel like she wouldn't mind getting into it with OG, just not on film. If I'm gonna get beat up, I don't want to be on camera.
That's the thing.
I don't want it to be on camera.
That's the thing. I feel like all these throwing drinks and running across tables from any of them across the board and taking off shoes and all of that, they knew that if they did lose, it was still a fair fight, right? That like it's a possibility that I could take it. It might go the wrong way if I trip, or something like that.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something about OG. That's why I call her a bully.
Yeah.
Because she ain't run when Kristen was trying to run. Oh hell no!
Kristen like a little poodle. She like a cockapoo.
But regardless, Evelyn and all of them that used to run across the tables and trying to do stuff to folks, OG just stood there, and that's when like you processing it. What I'm about to take out first.
Yep.
And she is about that life.
No, she probably is.
Yeah, and not that people can't get beat. They can get beat.
Right.
But there's certain people you be like, let me size this thing up for a day or two.
Let me think about this real quick because
like I could go for her legs, but she is used to wrestling too,
right.
So that might not
work. I just might end up getting beat up because the way that I respond, I'll be like, so listen, this is what we're not gonna do. All right. And then after the fact, I'll be like, damn, now my kid doesn't see me got beat up.
Okay, got beat all the way up.
All the way up.
Black-eyed, everything.
Yes.
Swole.
Then I got to take it to the next level.
Swole lips. Now you're trying to redeem yourself. Now taking it too far. Okay, exactly. Now you're taking it too far. So y'all got to catch up on Basketball Wives. I hadn't, and then I watched 3 episodes last night.
You need to finish it.
Oh, I'm trying, boy. My goodness. My goodness. So y'all got to catch up on Basketball Wives. I'm going to catch up on... Has Real Housewives started yet of Atlanta?
No, they start in 2 weeks.
Okay. And then I need to... Greenleaf and the other ones. There's so much I got to catch up on. But next week, y'all, is Spelman and Morehouse Homecoming.
And this week is Clark's.
Oh, yes. This week is Clark's Homecoming. We love Clark too. But it's nothing like a Morehouse and Spelman homecoming, the tailgate, the parties, all my roomies. Abby Sci-Fi, Abby, dorm room 201.
Oh, come on now.
It was 5 of us, and we are still like this to this day, and they're all staying with me.
So next week on.
It's going to be litty. And they will be here for the HBCU edition of the Unbroken Experience. Yes. So we are at that top of the hour. When we come back, what would Sin say? We got some questions for y'all. Y'all want to answer too? Let us know what you think. You're listening to The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9, and we'll be right back.
Evelyn is my girl.
I love Ev. Sometimes she'll be like, oh, why you gotta let them do like take you there.
And she talks about that a little bit. You'll see it. Okay. I feel like she's trying to change, but it's hard. You know, growing up in New York, and that's the way that you are respected.
I felt like last season she did real good.
She
did.
The
information that she did. But sometimes
I don't like OG. I don't like her.
I just want her to be gone.
Yes.
I liked her last season. I just felt like she was just.
I feel like she's doing too much. Like
she's doing way too much.
I feel like she's.
It's not my place. You share stuff with me, right? About Michael. Y'all BFFs. You share stuff with me, and then y'all make up. Y'all have beef. Y'all make up. And I'm like, well, no, you need to tell him. Excuse me.
She was being messy.
That was on another.
That was on
if
another
y'all
level.
are gonna make up, like you're not my mother.
And then family should be off limits. Like that's not.
Hey Marvin. Hey Jimmy.
Something that should be on limits.
Oh,
like,
definitely.
Me
no,
neither.
You don't ever tell them that kitchen table talk. You a mess. You know what, Michael?
I can't.
Oh my gosh.
I just want you to get to the end.
I forgot what's on there. Yes.
Wait, Evelyn is scared to death. Stop, Cherie.
She is scared. She would have been ran across that table. Listen,
Cherie.
And my Morehouse brothers come in the second hour.
Hi, Mommy Carol.
We about to cut up. And then we're going out after?
Where? What's next week? Wait, what's next week? I missed the first part of the conversation.
Too many people in here. Too many people. Next week's show.
Oh, what is going on? Why? Wait, I lost it. What
he was saying, are you my guest co-host next week?
Oh, no, not next week. No. Wait, he says no. I cannot.
Exactly.
I can't.
Me either.
Cherie talk about Evelyn was scared.
She is scared.
Evelyn is not scared,
yes,
Cherie.
She is. Or at least she got to think 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, she had to
like,
think 2 or 3
is it worth
times,
it?
like,
is it worth it? What I'm
see.
mad about? It ain't worth it.
Yeah.
Because OG ain't talking about nothing that's.
If you're a content creator, social media socialite, influencer,
that is what I'm saying. Like, okay, so I get like
you need the
holding
joystick.
your girl down, but I'm not about to fight your battles.
No.
Like if you get into something with that's very grown, right? Like if you get into it with somebody,
allowing users to stream and
naturally,
record
I'm not gonna
hands-free on multiple apps simultaneously, and it's lightweight and portable. For more information or to purchase your joystick today, visit our website at www.joystick.com.
I thought I went over.
No. See, you be saying we talk too much.
Okay, we did it but we ain't got to the crux. I need to make sure we get to some of the crux of it. Welcome back. You're listening to The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9. It is time for that What Would Sin Say? Michael, what we got today?
Bring it.
Oh, you ready? All ready?
Oh, yeah.
So first of all, what the hell was going on in that picture?
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
With you and the Reverend Jesse Jackson, a.k.a. I was there when Dr. King got shot.
Oh, no. Okay, so this was at the National Coalition of 100 Black Women 19th Biennial Conference. I'm out in the lobby area because I'm over all the vendors. We got about 22 vendors out there. I'm organizing everything, and then all of a sudden, Reverend Jesse Jackson come down the escalator with his entourage, about 4 or 5 other men. And
okay,
he's coming, I think, from a push conference or something, I think, in the same hotel. So of course we invite all the important people, and we don't know if they're coming or not. And so doggone usher or anybody could have walked through there. I'm like, oh, there go Usher. I was like, Jesse Jackson. So I was like, I'll escort them in because you can't just leave them like roaming around figuring out where to go. So just to make sure I got my photo op, because protocol for the NCBW, you don't be asking the important people for pictures. Right. You don't. So you just gotta be there. Right. So I'm like, this is where you go. This is where you go. And I had one of the another chapter president, right? Because I told her, I was like, Jesse Jackson. She was like, give me your phone, and she was like, go. And I was like, okay. And so I'm, and he goes a different way. And his handlers don't handle the ropes, so he about to trip over a rope. And I'm like, hey, you got too many handlers for them to let you go this way. Right. But anyway, so we go in there, and then there's another picture of me standing right beside him. So I just feel so prestigious, and I feel like I'm security guard, and all of that. And I even though I didn't get the picture,
it doesn't. That's perfect. I'll take it.
You look phenomenal. What was going on. I was so excited.
Awesome. Yes. All right, since spring break, not spring break, but fall break, and these class reunions are about to pop
Homecoming.
I'm sorry.
Oh, and class reunions. I had mine in September.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not
20
college
years.
dude.
20 years.
Yeah, sorry.
20 years high school. 20 years high school.
Oh, I was about to say 20 years college. You look great.
Okay. No, 20 years. 20 years.
So the question with homecoming right around the corner.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on college these days?
My kids owe me a degree. Yep. But they owe me a degree. Unless for some reason they're doing something like my son, who's a great basketball athlete, unless he's got something going on like that. If they have nothing going on, you owe me a degree. If you got something going on, what they gonna do?
You have to do something. But what if one of them take after you and have this entrepreneurial spirit?
That's what I'm saying. Right? They got to have something going on. Yeah. To where I see that y'all about to make some money and you're paying your bills. Now, if they're an entrepreneur but it's not making any money at the moment.
But that wasn't a question. You're not answering the question.
I did answer the question. I said they owe me a degree.
That's not the question. Oh. What are your thoughts on college these days? Not for you and your kids. What are your thoughts?
I can only give the thoughts on my children.
So no. I think that
you should go to college.
Not the kids. What's your thoughts on college?
Go to college.
Not pertaining to the children. What do you think about college?
Just let you rethink this answer, okay? This is my segment, so I get this 8 o'clock hour.
Put that to the side.
Yeah. So Lydia,
you ask her the questions.
Yeah, I am. Lydia, what are your thoughts on college these days?
I'm drunk.
You know what? I was about to say, go on and answer.
I don't know. That's an open-ended question. Like, what do you mean? What do I think about college?
Let me tell you about my friend. She going around the bush and she's in school right now. Mm-hmm. Tell the truth.
Okay, so
tell the truth.
I'm getting my
master's. Can I answer it? Do I get to? And do I get to participate?
Course, yes. Not really, but go ahead.
Okay, never mind.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead, please. Another perspective.
College is overrated.
College? No.
This is me.
Let him answer.
No, we got to have the same answer. So you got to change that.
I love college. College
you know what? But no. Explain.
College is overrated unless you are going to school for higher education to become a doctor, a lawyer, something like that in that field.
Okay.
This is a basic college degree. All it does is teaches you to go to work for somebody else.
Not necessarily.
I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with that because you can use that same information to create a business for yourself.
I do understand what you're saying, Michael, but for me, it's not about, you need this degree to do well in life. To me, it's if you're not doing anything, then do this because at least it shows that you know how to accomplish something. You know how to stick to something.
How many people do you know today? You got your homecoming coming up.
Right.
They got a college degree and are not doing what they were in school for.
That's not what
my undergrad. I'm not.
I'm just saying. We think about we just think about the tradition.
But different people go to school for different reasons. Like right now, me going to school for my master's is simply for personal enrichment. Right. It's not going to do anything for.
And that's fine.
Any path that I'm going to be
So
on.
if it's for personal enrichment, I understand.
Right. Well, that's what it would be. It wouldn't be. It has nothing to do with getting a job.
To an extent. I disagree with that because some people do go to college so that they can have a degree and work for a reputable company.
The only degree that I think that you can kind of guarantee is if you're there to be a doctor because you have to do a residency in a hospital or something like that. And so you have the relationships there.
Right.
There's no guarantee as with an undergrad, whatever degree that you get, that you're going to be doing that. But for me, if you're not doing anything that's making money, then you're going to do something that's going to enrich your lives. Now,
so
if
you're going to
there,
do something. If you're doing something that's not making money, you're going to do something that you have to pay money to do.
I'm okay with that because I'm going to take that bill. That's me. I'm going to take that bill. So you're doing something rather than trying to figure it out, or you're working at somewhere making $10 an hour where you could still be enjoying your young life on the college campus. Yeah. So rather
at whose
than
expense? At your expense?
I'm okay with that. If you're not okay
and
with
not necessarily, I think that we have to get away from paying for school. Like our children are very gifted. You can go to school and it doesn't have to be on my dime. Instead, what I'm preparing for you for college, you can take that, and when you finish college, you can start a business, you can invest, you come out of college debt free.
100%. So for me, the way that I'm raising my kids is the same way. It is, if it's around at that point in time, scholarships and things like that, I am gearing my kids towards that so it doesn't weigh on me. But if for some reason it's not there at that point in time, I really feel like tuition is going to come down by the time they get to that age. Then they're doing something, not at home figuring out I ain't doing nothing with my life, or I'm not meeting other people. Whatever. Just do something. And me being an entrepreneur, while they're in school, we will be building their business in hopes that by the time they graduate in 4 years,
they can take it over.
That they are able to take their business and run. If they do something pops off their sophomore year, I am 100% okay with, like, I'm taking a leave of absence. Maybe I'll finish it later. But if you're not doing anything, you're not sitting at home waiting for me to go to work every day and I pay all the bills.
But I think we're dodging the question, and you're talking morals and stuff like that. I think we're dodging the question.
Okay.
Looking at a college institution,
I get
what does it do for a person in this world
professionally?
Nothing.
Because you can make it. A lot of people can make it. The smartest and the average can make it without a college degree.
I think that is kind of,
so that's why you're saying it's overrated.
Yeah.
Additionally, the material that they have you studying is so far outdated. It's not even recent. And additionally, they don't teach you. They teach them textbook stuff, not real life experiences.
Real life.
So even having a college degree, when I got to my first job or whatever, 20 jobs down the line, everything that I learned book-wise, I didn't have any of the stuff that I was experiencing. There was no resource for that.
Because everywhere you go, if a kid goes to work somewhere, you learn all this stuff in college, but when you get to that job, you're going to have to learn the way they do it. Absolutely. Regardless. Yeah. And that may take you another 4 years to understand.
So then I can agree with you on that. Does it mean that you are A+ in professional world or F-? No. But if you're not doing anything, going to continue to be a young man or a young woman on my dime or on the scholarship's dime until you figure it out. But during that time, I'm going to help you get there.
Totally agree. With our son, with Malik, when he made the decision he wanted to go to Auburn, he got in Auburn, his scores were good. We did the same thing you said. You know what? You got in there, you're going to be rewarded. Right. You're not going to be that kid that's going to be down there. I got to work 2 jobs.
Right.
I'm struggling. Yeah. I got to do this. Nah, we got you.
Right.
We want you to enjoy the experience.
Exactly.
I don't want you to get down and think that this
is about to set you up.
It's going to set you up.
Exactly.
Because it's not going to do it.
I was going to touch on that about the experience. I think that is a crucial time for young men and young women to kind of explore and have a little sense of independence and, responsibility, and to do things, because I feel like that's the only time frame that young men and young women can do certain things without it being judged.
Yes.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you don't want to be like 30 or 40 and just promiscuous. And you know what I'm saying? I feel like, and this is probably going to sound crazy, but I feel like during that time is the most appropriate time for young men and young women to be promiscuous.
It's a very forgiving time.
Yeah, it's a very forgiving time. Mm-hmm. And speaking of forgiving times, as a parent, what is your greatest fear?
That I will not live to see my children as an adult.
Oh,
I don't think that anybody else will provide to them what I will provide to them as a mother. Not their grandmother, not their nobody, not an aunt, uncle, cousin, father, nobody. I don't think, that's my greatest fear. I always pray like every single day, like, Lord, please just allow me to live to see my daughter get like 25, because that's a crucial time, and my son as well.
I think about that as well, and I do pray for that. I want to grow old with my husband and see our kids, have their families, get married or whatever, have their careers, whatever, and get to spoil me a little bit,
right?
Because I certainly.
Right.
Do the most.
Yes.
Okay. Outside of that, I don't want to say it's a fear, but I want to make sure they find their way, their own way, outside of my way, like you find your way, you find your pocket and you go for it.
Right.
And so I think about that a lot.
Yeah.
My husband and I finally, well, not my husband.
I got
you. The question.
Okay.
I'm heterosexual. Thank you.
Funny.
My husband and I finally are empty
wife.
Yes, thank you very much for reminding us, Lydia. Are empty nesters and are only after a short while, but our children are needing to move back in. They're 24 and 22. Are we being a crutch if we let them? Should we let them make it on their own?
Okay, so I'll admit, I don't have teenagers, I don't have young adults, so I can't say 100% this is what I would do because I've done it. But my whole conversation that I talk with my son in particular is you got to go,
right.
But I do feel like as parents, it is our responsibility to set them up. I was one of those. I don't feel like I was set up. I feel like I was kind of put out there and I survived and I struggled and I figured it out. Did I have the academics? Yes. Did I get into all the great colleges? Yes. But to set me, no, I just was like, okay, right, there you go. So I struggled a lot here in Atlanta finding my way. I feel like it is my responsibility to at least prepare, show you, teach you, give you some space to figure it out and all of that kind of stuff. And then send you on your way because you're prepared so that you don't have to come home. But if they did have to come home, just like when we've had people live with us, when we've had people live with us, you don't pay me a dime.
Right.
Don't pay me a dime. Don't try to slip me no money, no nothing. You tell, and there's rules. You tell me how long. I don't care if it's 3 months or 12 months.
Right.
Tell me how long you need to stay, and that's what we're going to stick with. And if it's 6 months, 6 months come, I'm talking about, your bags packed?
Right, yeah.
And this is me for real, because we've had our first part of our marriage, we had people staying with us because I've been in that position where I needed to stay with someone,
right,
and it wasn't done right, and so I wanted to make sure whomever stayed with us that we do them right. But whatever you say, commit to that, and I don't want you to pay me a penny because I want you stacking this money so you can get
so you
out.
Can go.
So the same thing, I think with kids, if they do have to come back, you can't come in all hours of the night. You can't eat up all my food. You can't just be leaving stuff. Like, I'm not cleaning up behind you like you 8, 9, 10 years old.
Right.
I don't want to make it comfortable. My parents didn't make it comfortable for me to want to ever move back home.
Right.
So I didn't.
Yeah.
But if you make it like, okay, you want something, what you want for breakfast?
Right, yeah.
Oh, I got your dinner waiting.
So how do you feel about maybe letting the adult children come back, but having them still be responsible? So like, okay, you coming back here, but you still have to pay rent. You gotta buy your own groceries. You gotta, because I think in that type of situation, you can kind of still shield them, but still force them to be responsible.
No, for me, but they can come back one time. They can come back one time. You gotta give me a time frame. How long? Because I need you to be able to forecast. And so if they say 3 months and they should have said 7 months, that's on them.
Right.
Now I'm not saying that I won't put them up, in a place if they have a job, and I'll help them, stay their own place.
But why would you put them up?
Because
what is that going to
because
they're
them? Gone from my house. So it's if they're in my house, they can get comfortable, So I would want to either let them stay 6 months, stack your money, or give me your money and we'll put it towards a deposit towards something like that. Like I want to live my best life as an adult.
Right. So what happens? Like he was saying, they're empty nesters, so they probably doing it all around the house whenever they want. You know, couldn't do it while the kids were there.
Yeah.
And then the husband is upset now because Mom Dukes is like, look, I'm not busting nothing.
This is what home. Okay. This is what I would say to them. I would say to them, if they haven't moved back yet, or if they did, give them one, but you got to put those boundaries in those structures and follow through. If you say you got 6 months, sit them down. You got that? You paid that deposit? Okay. So if you didn't pay that deposit, rent for next month is $1,000 or something ridiculous that they can't pay, you know? And if you can't do it, then you got to go.
Right.
I think a lot of it as a parent depends on the circumstances. If I've done my job as a parent to get my kids to a point to where, you know, they're doing their best, you know what I'm saying? They ain't out here getting high or tricking off or something like that. And something happens, because it happens to all of us, where they need to come back. Yes, my door is always open.
Yeah. Right.
But on the flip side of it, if you've been out in the streets, you know, you still trying to rap at 30, you know what I'm saying? That stuff like that, it kind of, you create a boundary. Like, nah, it's not going to happen like that. Right. But I think, and this is my honest opinion, as black folk, I think we do our kids injustice when we hearing this. Hey, when you 18, you out.
No, I feel like everybody can come back home. I feel like everybody can come back home.
I just don't like that, because
I don't
we
like
say
the way that sounds.
Yeah, because that's
sounds
what
like
we
you're
heard.
giving up on them.
It's like, listen, that's what we heard.
Like, now you got to figure it out yourself.
I never heard that growing up.
And they say,
I never heard that. And
we
I saw
know you
everybody.
didn't,
I saw you got to figure it out.
But the thing is that they say when you're 18, you're grown, dude. You're close to 16. You're not far from being 16 years old.
You can't even purchase alcohol.
Right. You can't even do anything at that age.
Well, that's what I said. You know, so if that's why you're going to school. You're going to college,
whatever.
so you're at least going to be 2021.
You're doing something.
So by the time you talk to me about coming back home, at 2021, you still got some time. You can come back home for a couple years, but I feel like if you're going to do that, don't be a crutch. Set them up. Help set them up.
That's the thing. You as a parent, you have to set your kids up. So when it gets to that age, they're ready to go.
Yeah, I would never, like I said, I was one of those that felt like, okay, there you go. I wouldn't do that to my kids because I know how it felt for me. But at the same time, throughout their college years, I'm going to be, do you want to start a business? Do you need an agent? Do you need whatever? I'm going to be working overtime like it's a job for me to set them up. And that doesn't mean that they can't come home after college, but we got to have a plan.
Right.
So I feel like the setup should be during the years that we're raising them. If they come back, then maybe we missed something.
Yes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe we missed something.
Y'all don't like the way it sounds.
No, we didn't. No, nobody said that.
Yeah, y'all said I don't like the way it sounds. You got to go.
No,
that's what I said. I said you got to go.
No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that if they have to come back, then it's on a parent. Like, we dropped the ball somewhere, because the whole purpose of raising your children is so that when they get out in the natural world, they can make good decisions.
No,
right?
We weren't talking about you. We're just talking about growing up in the black community as a black male. For me, my mama struggled my whole life.
Right.
But then you're going to tell me when I'm 18, I got to go. Well, goddamn, what you teach me?
Right.
You can't even get it together.
Right.
But when you're raising a good home and your parents are teaching you the right things to do, they're setting you up. They take that extra job so that they can move you out to the suburbs to go to the good school to get the education.
Right.
They're teaching you how to manage your money and setting you up for your next move.
Right.
At that point, you should be comfortable with letting your babies go, because you know you set them up to do the right thing.
Right. And I don't think my parents were comfortable letting. They was just, there you go.
Right.
You know, I definitely know I was not set up. You know, when it comes to academics and independence, I was definitely set up. And I think that was the way.
So
I have a question for you, Sin.
Yes.
So how do you respond to your children when they make mistakes?
Oh, not the way that we grew up.
Right.
I don't
either. Because I noticed with TJ, it'll give him anxiety. And he'll be like, oh, I'm so stupid. Or, oh, I'm so... And I'm like, where you get that from? Like, no. I'm like, it's not that big of a deal.
Yes.
When I made mistakes, specifically from, like, my mom's side, it was... Listen,
it's like hell.
Yeah. It's like what's wrong with you? But I think that's the time that kids are learning. Like, they're learning from the mistakes and from their experiences.
Yes.
So why make it harder on them?
This is what I say about you know, when your kids make mistakes. So there's growing pains, right? And they should not be punished for growing pains.
No,
they should not. It is not fair. It's not fair, and you didn't want that when you were growing up,
right? Even if you're accustomed to it,
yeah,
you didn't want that when you were growing up.
I remember, Mommy, if you're listening, you know I love you. I remember being an honor student. Very, very great in math. Math has always come easy to me. I took that advanced trigonometry, calculus, all of that. It was one of those classes I looked forward to because I knew I didn't have to really focus a lot as long as I learned the formula. And I had I think I had just gotten over double pneumonia. and I had all this makeup work to do. And so whatever math I was in at that time, had that to do. I didn't study any of the formulas. So if you don't know the formula, you're all off.
Yeah.
So I did it. I have an A in the class. I think I maybe failed or maybe got a D on a quiz.
Right.
So it didn't affect my overall GPA for the class.
Right.
So, I lied. I didn't tell my mom the grade because I know how she'd flip off. Mama just... Someone must have told her, listen in. She just came in. So I remember I would come, my mom taught in my high school. So every day she was like, what was the grades? This and the other, this, that, whatever. And so I did. I lied about that grade because I knew it wouldn't affect my overall GPA. I had a lot more other things to focus on, like biology. The subject that I hated the most was anything history wise because it was very boring to me.
Right.
Then I happened to be in all the AP classes and stuff. And so I lied. And because I didn't do well on that quiz, my teacher came downstairs and talked to my mom and said, what's going on with Syndy? She didn't, but by this time I done lied about 2-3 times at this point. And so I don't know what I had going on. I come in the house. My mom is posted at the top of the stairs like ready.
Right. Yeah.
Ready.
I don't want to do that.
And I think she asked me again. She may have did you get that
right.
quiz back? I may have lied again. And she beat me all the way down the steps. And my uncle was there. My Uncle Marty was there. Mm-hmm. And I was so embarrassed. And I was so hurt by that
and
because
see that too. I don't want my kids to feel embarrassed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want them to go through that. 95% of what I learned coming up, I don't employ with my kids.
Yeah. Well, I was so
like 95% of it.
Well, the other thing is when your kid does well, most of the give them a pass.
Give them a pass. But instead, when you're accustomed to a child doing so well all the time, when they mess up, you make it a big deal.
Yes.
So what is that teaching them about making mistakes? They're going to carry that through adulthood.
My son, just to the last thing, my son, he told me recently, he was like, I told him no about something. I don't remember what it was. And he was like, Mommy, my grades are good. I've been nice to my sister. I've been listening.
Go ahead, Zay.
And blah, blah. He
listed it.
And I said, you right. Okay.
Right.
Because that's fair.
It
like
is.
How can you not reward them? And they've been working so hard on all the things that they don't want to do that you want them to accomplish.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's all I'm saying. Y'all, we have to think about the communication with our children differently, the discipline that we decide to put on our children differently. I do believe in discipline, but we ain't got to beat them just because we mad for the day from work or our husbands or our wives. You know, we don't have to beat them, because they didn't do what's not in their capacity or what the expectations that we put on them that's not on them. And we didn't even teach them.
Exactly. How do you feel about respecting your children?
Okay, so when we come back, that's what we're going to talk about. Respecting your children. You are listening to The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9, and we'll be right back.
So I have to go to the bathroom. I got enough time. What time is it? Okay. What time is it?